Hi everyone, Rachel Sawani here. I felt intuitively guided to just kind of do an impromptu reading and channeling around the new moon energy that was in Pisces, and that was yesterday, but the energy is still kind of around. But I think this message is more about what that energy means and what shifts are coming and how things are changing. I just got a lot of information come through yesterday in a way that was different. It stood out to me in how the synchronicities were aligning and how the messages were coming through from people I know and also my guides. And I was getting a lot of guidance yesterday to rest and reflect and for self-care. And I thought that was really interesting because like a lot of different guides of mine showed up to tell me that. And so it seemed really, really important. And I was feeling a little bit jittery in the morning yesterday. And then I had a live session on my group page, Intuitive Soul Rising, on my private group on Facebook, which was a live medium practice session. And it turned out to be a very, very powerful and potent session. And it was pretty much guided by Metatron and Melchizedek's energy the whole time. But even more than that, a lot of us that were there together were really sharing and channeling very profound messages for the greater collective that wasn't really part of the plan. Obviously, when you're channeling, you never know what's going to come through, but it just felt like a very powerful portal moment, an activation point for us. As a collective, as a smaller community, but also important, an important message for the collective. So I wanted to, I just got to go back to, yes, this morning. So what ended up happening this morning and while I was sleeping, so last night after all of that powerful channeling came through, I was done with the session and my guides were very clear. They were like, go home now. Your work is done for the day. Now go home and rest. And they were really, really pushing me to just rest and call it a day. And so I did. And I started to really feel the heavier energies coming in. I was really feeling tired in a way that it was just a different type of tired feeling I was having. And a lot of pressure behind my eyes, and it was a feeling behind my eyes, not even like my eyes being droopy, but just the third eye area was definitely charged in a certain way. And I don't know if I was transmuting anything for the collective, but I just felt tired. A lot of information came through, so it was like heavy downloads I had received throughout the day, and it kind of wore me out. And so while I was sleeping and then early in the morning, I was getting a lot of downloads, and my guides were really drawing my attention to different number sequences and just different messages that they were wanting me to hear. And and I felt Ashtar command coming through with very, very clearly. And he's a guide that I do channel, but not often. But lately he's really been showing up for me in my private sessions that I have with clients, working with the galactic beings that I channel. And he came through on my most recent energy update for the month of March with a very, very powerful message about what's going on in with the war in Ukraine and Russia. So you can go to my YouTube channel, Intuitive Soul Rising, to watch that. But he was saying to me this morning, today is a time for rest and integration. And it was very, very clear that this was for me, but not just for me, the collective as well. And I have also been getting information from other people that I know that are feeling a similar way about this energy. Like last night, for example, Yesterday, for example, some people that I'm close to, they were also sensing and wondering what's going on with the energy. They're feeling really tired, really kind of just like there's a need for self-care and relaxing and rest. So we were all kind of picking up on the same idea or feelings. So today I was guided to share this more clearly, this message coming in from Ashtar Command, and of the Galactic Federation of Light. And he's wanting me to share some cards that I drew because I was asking him how he wants to share this message and what is it about this energy, what is it about these downloads, because he was telling me that we were getting a lot of downloads yesterday, and then I later found out from a friend that there was a lot of it wasn't just a new moon in Pisces, but there was a lot of activity, or astrologically speaking, activity going on with the planets and their positions to each other. I guess there was like 10 different things, alignments or conjunctions. I mean, I'm not that well versed in astrology to explain the concepts, but just the idea was like there was a lot going on in the skies and the heavens with the planets in their positioning that would create some kind of energy portal and gateway for this information to flow through at this particular time. So I work with Metatron a lot too, so I feel also him sometimes coming in to kind of explain this concept, this portal idea. But going back to the cards, so I had Ashtar pull some cards around what are the messages for the collective, what do we need to know, what are these downloads about, yeah, so he can help us understand that a little bit better. So I'm going to start with the first card that I pulled, and that is from the Moonology Oracle deck. I used two decks for this. I was guided to use these two decks. And anyway, so this card says, what do you need to release? So that's one aspect that we're being asked to consider in the self-reflection on what are we being asked to release that no longer serves, what outdated beliefs and paradigms are we clinging on to, what are we clinging on to from the past that is ready to crumble or be disintegrated into the now. The feeling is like freed into the light, sent back home into the light to be cleared and birthed into something new. So new possibilities are on the horizon, I'm hearing. The next card I pulled in regards to this energy of the new moon and the downloads was balance, and it is the Pisces symbol on there. Balance, spirituality, and practicality. So I'm hearing with this, this is what's gonna, so that the feeling is like there's a need to stay balanced and grounded, very grounded at this time. A lot of grounding energy is needed at this time. Yesterday was a shift in consciousness happened, I'm hearing. There was a flow, a divine flow of downloads, heavily felt by those, especially in the light worker community, those who are on the front line, so to speak, who are really trying to win this war against fear, for the higher, to raise the collective to a higher octave and perspective that is one of truth, light, and love, and unity, consciousness, Christ consciousness. So my eye is being drawn to talk about this card. So the other deck I pulled cards was Amanda Ellis's Archangel Metatron deck. And so I, again, was asking a similar question: what messages of clarity, what other messages can you give us that will give us some clarity on what these energies are about, what these shifts are all about? And this card came out, and it is the Tree of Life, travel on. And I'm hearing interdimensional travel is possible now. So he's showing me, like, in this card, there's all these activation points taking place, all these connection points. It's a feeling of connecting the dots. The more you align with your higher self, Metatron is saying, the more you have the capacity to connect the dots between all of your multidimensional aspects of yourself. So all of these aspects are held within, but you will experience this activation through your awareness of how you connect to others in a multidimensional way. So sharing a multidimensional viewpoint on one aspect or one topic uh, is a way to help integrate this consciousness or connect the dots. The feeling is like we are all connected, but we need to know this. We need to not just understand it on an intellectual level, we need to know this in our hearts through our experiences and human interactions with each other, and our openness to receive these downloads in a way that helps us connect the dots and helps us connect, he's showing, our hearts to others. So it's really an important lesson at this time, and it's the purpose of why we're having these experiences and why our awareness is being drawn to certain interactions, synchronicities, and signs, and experiences in our personal lives that is showing us the way for true heart connection to others. And this is what's needed for us to unify. So the call to action, and this is Ashtar speaking, is to unify, to become unified in our consciousness and in our conscious awareness of the ways we are all interconnected, and in the ways that we connect the dots to these understandings. And awareness is really what it is. Awareness of how this all works and the multidimensionality of our being, of our vessel. We're more than just what we see in the physical. We are we are able to travel to other dimensions and tap into higher states of consciousness and anchor this consciousness down into earth. And this is why Ashtar is stepping forward as my guide now, because he's basically told me and showing me even in this moment that he's becoming one of my main guides to help teach people and activate this potential within others, and to help show others the way, as I have been shown the way forward by him and Metatron, and in many different experiences that I've had. So he's drawing my attention to talk about this other, so for more clarity around what this energy and downloads are all about. These downloads specifically, he's saying, is the frequency of blue. So the frequency of blue is the frequency of the Christ consciousness. And this picture right here shows like the North Star, and then it shows Mother Mary in a sense. And it's about the mother energy, and the card says Madonna and mothering. So mothering, nurturing, loving energy is really needed at this time to heal our planet, to heal the more deeper traumatic wounds that Mother Earth holds in her heart, and that we as her children hold in our hearts, for being a fear of being separated from her again, being lost to her again, our connection to our mother, our connection to our soul mother is what I'm hearing. Our divine mother is very strong on the planet. The love she has for us is very strong and is being gifted back to us, but we need to accept it by learning how to nurture ourselves and to show ourselves self-compassion, in times of trouble, essentially. And I'm hearing that song, and this came out in a message I did with George Michael in a video. I channeled his energy, and he shared the song, but it's coming through again. It's Let It Be by the Beatles, but the line is, when you feel yourself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me. speaking words of wisdom, let it be. So her energy is very strong on the planet, and you can call on her as a guide to soothe you in times of trouble. But there's a higher symbolism in why her energy and that connection is really important. So to heal, the focus is set your intention to heal any wounds connected to the mother and your own inner mother and nurturing abilities for self-love, because that's really where they're showing you're going to become unified as one with the divine masculine and father energy. You have to love yourself, they're saying. Show yourself the same respect and compassion you would show your fellow man who is in trouble, who is in need. So sorry, we're sending a lot of energy at this time to Ukraine and to healing energy to Ukraine and Russia, but we need to send some of that energy to ourselves, because the ways we are unhealed is really affecting the consciousness of all of the collective. So that there needs to be some attention on self-care and nurturing, especially at this time, and I feel like in the coming weeks or the rest of this month anyways. And so then the next card I am going to show is this one. It's transformation, light and dark. So there's a transformation, a healing transformation taking place, a transfer of power from dark to light. And that's why things are kicking up. It's kicking up some dust. The feeling is like it's feeling chaotic right now, because we're in this like transition period where the power is literally physically manifesting and being transferred, where it was like more heavily dark controlled. The earth's energy was manipulated more by the dark forces that were working against nature. It's shifting. It's in the process of shifting to power. So the power struggle is playing out right now in the physical dimension, and in the higher dimensions. From that perspective, there's an even peaceful balance there, and that unity consciousness is being held for us by the galactics, so that we can rise to meet them at that level. But we are being asked to rise to meet them. So in order to do that, we have to raise our frequency as individuals. We have to raise our frequency, and we have to raise the frequency of this planet as a collective. So focusing not on war, hate, conflict, these lower vibrations, but more on peace, unity, love, heart connection with our brothers and sisters, and all beings on earth, really extending our compassion to and love to all beings, accepting all beings as one, as we are all one, and as we love and accept ourselves. So that transition is taking place. So there's a lot of shakiness, shaky ground, and destabilization forces at play here. But it's working itself out. But we need to raise the frequency to match love, to really hold that steady rate where it's not so shaky and unstable as we transition through this change, I'm hearing. So not the last card. The other card was for Metatron Beacon, Shine On. So this is just a higher message to continue shining our light, and my awareness is being drawn to this. This is really what the view looks like. So from heaven, when we as light workers, I'm hearing shine our light, and we are strong in our connection with Source. We are strong in the amount of light that we embody, bear, and share with the world. So it's just helping to light up that light grid and expand that light. And then I pulled this card, which is priorities, building blocks for life. So this is all about balance and creating in our own lives a very stable structure. So that holds all the frequencies of light, I'm hearing. And the pyramid being a symbol of strength because of its how it's built, its geometric shape allows for it to be very strong, very stable structure. And so building that structure within ourselves, building that within our lives, creating the building blocks for that strong foundation, is really about our priorities. Where are our priorities? Where are we focusing our attention? Are we focusing our attention on love, or are we focusing it on hate, division, fear, rejection, rejecting of others' opinions and beliefs? He's saying staying in a state of dissonance. Dissonance is when you're not in coherence. It's the opposite of coherence. Coherence is when you're entrained on the frequency of love. Dissonance is when there's again, it's like that jittery energy, when there's just division, when there's just like tension, and there's like the feeling of like nitpicking on everybody, and needing to say how you feel, and reject what the other person feels. So stand in unity with grace, I'm hearing, and allow all conflict to just be dissolved by source energy, by the love we have for each other in our hearts. Tune into that frequency, tune into the frequency of love. It's very much like tuning a channel. You need to change the radio station. If that's where you're resonating on that level of dissonance, it needs to be on the level of coherence, and heart coherence is very important. So even doing breathing work and meditations that help you to get in alignment with your mind and your heart, so that they're in coherence and your whole body is feeling this like stable energy, kind of like he's showing me the pyramid again. It needs to be stable, calm, peaceful energy. And the last card, but it was actually the first card that flew out. Whenever I ask for clarification about downloads or clarification from anything that has to do with the year 2022, this card, every time I'm pulling from the Metatron deck, always comes out. Always. And it's the number 6 card, which is the love card, relationships and harmony. But numerologically speaking, the number 6, and even as I'm saying this, I'm looking at the timer of this video and how long it's going, and it's 22. So it's even synchronized to this message and the timing of it. And the number 6 is essentially, so the year 2022 is 3 2s and a 0. And if you add those numbers together, you get 6. And 6 is balance, relationships, harmony. And that's what really the number 2 is actually also all about. So it's going back to the heart. It's living from the heart, no fear. So it's a heart-based way of living is what we're being asked to explore, and how these downloads and shifts and changes are pushing us in the direction of heart-centered, heart-based living in accord with nature. That's what it means. Live in accord with nature, not in dissonance with nature. Live with resonance with nature. And I'm even feeling like, it's a good time to connect with nature, to attune your frequency to nature, to allow the trees, the living trees, and the wildlife, and the like spiritual places, and the oases of nature, where those energies are heightened, that mother energy is heightened. Connect with the mother, connect with Mother Nature, and allow her to ground your energy and anchor your light into her heart, I'm saying, into her core, and imagine a cord connecting you to Mother Earth, because that's an umbilical cord. They're saying create an umbilical cord that's always attached to Mother Earth. I mean, you have one there, etherically speaking, but become aware of it, is what I'm hearing. So own it, own that connection, and breathe in and out that connection. Breathe with the mother and breathe her love into your heart, and allow her heart to disintegrate and her love to disintegrate all that is unnecessary, all that's causing you pain, all the past hurts, all the past traumas, all the suffering. Allow her to heal that for you. From the inside out, I'm hearing, and release that through your breath, to be dissolved and transmuted into light, with forgiveness in your heart and gratitude in your soul. So, wow, very beautiful. The only card that I didn't talk about, and here's the timing of it, is this from the Moonology deck. It says the energy is gaining momentum. So, last but not least, know that this energy is quickening, accelerating this ascension process. We've reached a turning point. The 2-2 portal they're showing was our turning point on that date, February 2nd. It was like time shifted, timelines shifted, and we moved that, like, as a collective, we've moved that much closer to achieving that balanced, peaceful state. It's also why the war erupted, the Ukraine and Russia war erupted or was made official around that same date. This was kind of part of their plan and agenda, sort of knock us off our balance, throw us out of alignment and out of sync with each other, out of harmony with where Mother Earth is going, to keep us trapped in this lower dimensional frequency of fear, lower dimensional frequency of fear, yeah, and out of alignment with love and the truth of who we are as we're going through this awakening process. It's a journey of remembering who we are and remembering our galactic connections and how they're here to help us and guide us, and how Ashtar is assisting and working in tandem with all of the different star races that are visiting us at this time, and Metatron as well. And yeah, the portals are open to make these galactic connections if you feel called to do so. And ask them for assistance and guidance. Ask them to show you the way in your life where you need to make changes, or where maybe your attitude needs to be shifted, your awareness needs to be shifted around different concepts, and you need to be more tuned to the frequency and messages of your heart. So with that, I'm going to end this message. I hope you all have a great day and month, and we'll see you next time. Bye.